This article is a little bit long, but I think it has some entertaining stuff in it. 6 recent stories of people who lost their shit for ridiculous reasons. Number 1, man beats another man with a skillet for declining fried potatoes. Be careful if you turn down someone's lunch offer. They might not take it well, like this 27-year-old man from Pennsylvania. According to Pennsylvania State Police, the man was frying potatoes on January 27th. He then offered the spuds to another 32-year-old man. When the other man said no thank you, the cook became suddenly enraged, reports KBTX. He threw the hot potatoes along with the frying oil into the victim's face.
Jeez.
Yeah. Then he proceeded to hammer the skillet down on his head so hard that the handle snapped off. The victim was taken to a hospital with burns and serious injury. The cook has been arrested and faces multiple charges, including aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He must have put a lot of effort into those potatoes. I mean, that's a guy, like, just was ready to snap at a moment's notice, man.
Well, he go eat Jim's panther.
Like, were those poisoned potatoes? Like, was that why he was upset?
Well,
I'm gonna kill you one way or another.
Oh yeah, he's like, yeah, that would be funny. He's like trying to poison him.
Yeah.
He's like, just take a bite, try it. All right, force me to do this the hard way. Yeah, man, that's crazy. Number 2, Japanese train driver sues employer over 49 cents. A worker should get the paycheck that's due to them, but sometimes you have to wonder if fighting an insignificant sum is worth it. In June of 2020, Japanese train operator JR West docked 56 yen, about 49 cents, out of the train driver's paycheck. The reason was a work mix-up that delayed train operations by 1 minute. Train schedules are very strict in Japan, but that still seems a bit unreasonable. Still, most people would have probably muttered something unprintable about the employer and moved on with their lives. But not this man. In November 2021, he sued the company seeking 2.2 million yen, or nearly $19,500 in damages for mental anguish. Yeah, it sounds like a lot, but then you convert it and it's like, oh, okay. We couldn't find out what the end result of the court case was, but whatever it was, we're guessing it cost the driver more than 49 cents. Number 3. Man pulled out an AK-47 for having to wait 10 minutes for pizza. On November 19th, 2021, Charles Douglas Doty Jr. of Knoxville, Tennessee, walked into a Little Caesars restaurant. The 63-year-old approached the counter and ordered a pepperoni pizza. You can't just pull a pizza out of thin air, but Doty apparently didn't know this because he snapped when he was told he'd have to wait 10 minutes for his meal. Doty initially demanded an order of free breadsticks for having to wait. He then left the store, only to return a moment later armed with an AK-47 assault rifle. He pointed at me saying, "Where's my damn pizza? I want my pizza." Although I think it said damn, it's D star, so maybe dick pizza? Kimberly Merrill, who worked at the store at the time, told WVLT. Doty was Doty also prevented another employee from leaving his shift, eventually holding him hostage. Luckily, the situation diffused when another customer who had received a pepperoni pizza handed her order to Doty. Doty was later arrested and charged with 4 counts of aggravated assault and 1 count of especially aggravated kidnapping. I mean, I could understand if it was good pizza, but Little Caesars?
Yeah.
Yeah. Man, sometimes people don't get in any trouble for like acting crazy with guns, and sometimes they get in a whole bunch of trouble.
I mean, that guy should have. That's crazy. Number 4, woman stabs male cousin over a borrowed sex toy.
Yeah. I brought back your dildo.
That's about what this story is. Crystal Denham, 33, had a bizarre encounter with her cousin at her home in Corbin, Kentucky. Man, another Kentuckian. They're not making Kentucky look good. Namely, she stabbed him due to a dispute over a sex toy. According to the police, Denham's cousin, Michael Barton, had showed up at her house on October 28th.
Full name.
The guy's like, no, not the full name. Apparently, he come to get back a sex toy Denham had borrowed from him. So this is a guy loaned his dildo to his female cousin, and now he wants it back.
Oh, where does she think he's been putting it?
We'll have to assume that Denham didn't want to give the toy back because the cousins got into an argument. At some point, Denham grabbed a knife from her kitchen. When she told Barton to get out of her house, he grabbed Denham by her elbow. She then used the knife to stab him, causing 3 minor cuts. When the cops arrived to arrest Denham, they reposted that she formed a fist with each of her hands, bladed her body in a fighting stance, swelled her chest out, and began approaching. The threatening gesture didn't work, though. She's been charged with felony assault and multiple misdemeanors for resisting arrest. I mean, there's so much in this story that's wrong. I mean, first of all, like she can't buy her own dildo.
Yeah.
Well, what's okay? Well, here's the disconnect. Also, is like you have to be pretty close with someone to share your dildo, but then you're gonna go stab them. I'm vaguely imagining, like, you know, those like cane swords, those are just like a dildo with a knife in.
I'm imagining 2 hillbillies fighting over a black dildo.
I mean, there's so much in this that's preposterous. Like the fact that 2 cousins would share a dildo to begin with. The fact that they're male and female brings an extra element to it. And the fact that he went to get it back. Like, okay, you've had it long enough. I want my dildo back.
Right. That's like when a kid, like, if someone licks your ice cream, they're like, it's mine now. Like, if someone sticks, you know, your dildo up their ass, you know, that's their dildo now.
You would think so. That's the other thing I wonder is, has this dildo been cleaned in between
You gotta
using? I mean,
that has to be the rationale. It's like, oh, you can just wipe it down. No problem.
and also, like, even if I went to go get my dildo back, if the person pulled a knife on me, I'd be like, you know what, you can have it.
This thing's got to be transforming lives. This is like a magic dildo.
It must have had sentimental value for both of them.
It's like made out of gold.
That was our grandmother's dildo.
It was willed to me. Number 5, man shot his father over an incorrect wings order. Alika Unga Saliafu from Utah. That does not sound like a Utah name.
Yeah, no.
Was facing a charge of attempted murder in October of 2021. He had tried to shoot his father because he got his chicken wings order wrong. According to the arresting officer, Suliafu's father returned home after picking up an order of chicken wings for his son. But Suliafu, upon noticing that his wings weren't the kind he liked, started an argument with his dad. This must have gotten heated because during the argument, Suliafu retrieved a handgun from another room. Although his father begged him not to shoot, Suliafu pulled the trigger. Luckily, the shot missed and the pulled smashed. This is written poorly. Anyway, smashed through the wall into the neighboring apartment before hitting their dishwasher. Suliafu's father tackled him and tried to wrangle the gun out of his hands. During the tussle, the gun discharged twice more, but both bullets harmlessly hit the ceiling. The father finally ejected the magazines from Suliafu's gun, and his son fled the apartment until the cops picked him up. I mean, that definitely sounds like mental illness.
Big time.
Yeah, definitely something going on there.
Or drugs, maybe.
I'm surprised anybody was able to be around him that long. How old is this guy?
It does not tell in this article.
Man.
But yeah, that's crazy. And then finally, number 6, of course, we needed a story from Florida. Florida man settles a parking dispute with a flamethrower. A parking dispute between 2 Florida neighbors got heated last November, literally. Andre Adams, 57, fired a commercial flamethrower at a car with 3 teenagers in it. According to his neighbor, Ashley Gainey, Adams regularly used the flamethrower to drive away guests coming to her home. The man later told the police that he'd resorted to fire and flames because of a long-running feud with Gainey over parking. We wouldn't go into details, but he said Gainey and her kids were the worst thing that could ever happen to a neighborhood. I wonder if this is a racial thing, but it doesn't say.
It does sound like...
Suffice to say, they didn't get along. On November 30th, Gainey's daughter and 2 of her friends were sitting in a car that Abrams clearly thought was incorrectly parked. He approached before starting to spray the flamethrower at the car. According to Gainey's daughter, the flame went within 5 feet of the car, and the teens escaped through a passenger side door. Luckily, no one was hurt, though Abrams got slapped with a felony aggravated assault charge. I mean, again, like, the fact that he has a flamethrower, and it sounded like it says he's used it before. I mean, wouldn't the cops have got called at that point, you would have thought?
Yeah, and I mean, if someone's like parking in a driveway, just get them towed. Like,
yeah. I mean, Jesus. This whole article has just sounded like people with mental illness.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
I mean, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, especially that guy who flipped out over wings, man. Whew.
Yeah. My favorite one definitely, though, was the dildo.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, that's just crazy.